listen to sports talk radio. I just love it. It makes me so happy. People out. It's not a sunny day. Sunny day, chasing the clouds away. Hi, and thanks for tuning in. This is the Learn with John Eick podcast, and I am rolling in to work on day about 92 of my 180-day drive to WORK. I'm heading into school on a day 92. Today's a Thursday. Not wearing a purple tie. I usually wear a purple tie on Thursday, but which is strange because the Kings won last night, which was awesome. That's not here or there. But I'm not wearing a purple tie because today's prospective parent tours. What in the heck is a prospective parent tour? Oh, here we go down the rabbit hole of what my life looks like. So I'm the lead spokesperson for my organization. I'm the superintendent, but I'm also like part-time custodian and like sometimes secretary, data processor, whatever it is, man. You know, I build all the Google forms. Look, we all got our own skill sets. We just move them around to the space that is needed. I'm the lead spokesperson for my organization, which means that, you know, I'm the guy on the videos. I'm often the guy, you know, talking into the microphone. And when it's time to like market or talk about our organization, I'm kind of that guy we turn to, because I think from my vantage point, sitting up on the hill, the 40,000 foot view allows me to connect the dots. I see how kindergarten does what they do so amazingly well, and I see how it's connected to the way 8th grade and 10th grade also do what they do so well, and I could like draw the narrative through this as, hey, in the beginning of our K-12 continuum, we start to empower our students with agency, and you'll see how that agency evolves and grows throughout the organization. So by the time you get to really 8th grade, school looks a little more like Starbucks than it does like a drill, like a drill and kill organization, right? And you can explain that, and you can especially explain it well if people are on campus with you. So I do a lot of tours, educators come visit my organization. I take them on tours. People who want to check out our facilities because they want to build something that looks a little bit like ours, I take them on tours. Dignitaries, elected officials, they want to take tours, and so I do a lot of tour guiding. It's the best part of my job. I gotta be honest, I should have been a cruise director. I love me some, I love walking people around a place that I love, filled with people that I love, and I love it for a lot of reasons. Sidebar, I love walking across the campus because when I do walk across the campus, I got a lot of connections with a lot of people. There's a lot of smiling, a lot of waving, and there's a lot of like little people who go, "Hi, Dr. Eick," and it's so funny because like I'm always like, walking with some city council member or something, and it's like, "Hi, Dr. Eick, hi, Dr. Eick, hi, Dr. Eick, hi, Dr. Eick, hi, Dr." And some of them are like, "Hi, Mrs. Eick." I'm like, "Yeah, that's close enough. You got me. You know who I am. You got one of the names right." So I love that part. I love walking people on tours. Well, today is the prospective parent tour in my organization. Well, what's a prospective parent tour? Well, we're a public school in California, but we got this clause that says, look, anybody in the entire county, actually for the state, as far as that's concerned, anybody can drop off an enrollment packet at our school and you're enrolled. So I'd be like, there's no test scores, there's no screening, there's no cherry picking, there's no special programs. So it's like, hey, you want to be in our school? You're in our school. Unless there are more people who want to be in the school than there are seats. And that is the case every year. So I got 1,000 available seats in my school, kindergarten through 8th grade, for example, another 500 at the high school. And we typically get 1,000 kids at our school who go there today. They're going to go there tomorrow because they're in 3rd grade today. They're going to go to 4th grade next year. So they keep their seat. So you got 1,000 people in the school, but you got like 1,500 people on the wait list, which is wild, right? But it is what it is. Part of it's like smoke and mirrors, marketing. People just want to go there. Part of it is it's a freaking amazing school and it's free and public, and people, people are trying to get in because they're like, hey, I want to go to the best, school in the region for my kid. Some people just dig it because, we're an amazingly diverse zip code. So people are like, hey, we love our place in the global world theme, whatever, right? So you got all these people wanting to get in. So we do this prospective parent tour deal. We go, hey, look, maybe you want to get into our school. Here's what we're going to do. Drop off your little application and your name goes in the hat. We pull all the names on March, whatever it is, 7th. And, you're going to pull 150 names, just the kindergarten and any openings you have. And then everybody else is going to put on the wait list. So before you do that, you do these prospective parent tours. So like today, I don't know, we might have 150 people show up at the 9 o'clock session, another 150 people show up at the 2 o'clock session, another 150 show up at the 6 o'clock session. And what we do is say, hey, welcome. Like, here's who we think we are. Let me show you what that looks like out on campus. We'll take these people on little walking tours. They'll get to see inside of our classrooms. And then the trick for us is to just make sure that the things we talk about while we're on the tours align to the missions and the values of the organization. So I said, like, hey, one of the ways that we offer students agency, kindergarten through 12th grade, is to make sure that, that starting in kindergarten, we use flexible seating. Well, I know that sounds trivial, but let me walk you through it. If a kindergartner gets to say, hey, this seat right here isn't always my seat. It's not the place that I always have to learn when I get nervous. Like if we're doing something that I'm not great at, maybe it's mathematics, for example, I could use the standing table or the wiggly chair. Or if I'm reading a book or want to do something quietly, I can crawl under that little cave space under the counter and I could do that. So we're not caught up in sitting in straight rows because we do a lot of flexible grouping. So starting in kindergarten, flexible seating means I, as a learner, have some agency over where I like to learn. Okay, fast forward, walk up into the 4th grade flex room, walk into the 6th grade flex room, and you're going to see it evolving. Oh, wow, look, the kids are a little more independent, a little more agency over their own learning. Then we say, hey, by the time you get to 8th grade, the place looks a little bit like Starbucks, and everybody kind of giggles, and then you walk into 8th grade, and there it is. Like, there's some small grouping, there's some direct instruction happening here and there. However, a lot of the kids, a lot of the time, are breaking out into collaborative groups around the classroom, the outdoor setting, on the tables under the shade structure, out in the flex room, and it literally looks like Starbucks. A bunch of college kids walking around. Well, like, as we do these prospective parent tours, it's really important to us that we say, this is who we are, this is what we believe is important about school, this is how it aligns with our mission, and then we're going to see some examples of it out there so that before you apply for our school or, consider, jumping in and throwing your name in the hat, like, you got to know what you're getting into. Because we are what we are and we're not what we're not, and you should know that coming in, right? If you think this is some I won't throw down bad thing. But if you think you're running off to some school that looks the way you think it looks, you should know what we look like before you apply, because we're a full inclusion school and we take a lot of pride in full inclusion, for example. So what we're going to say is like, hey, there's no magnet clusters, no like, oh, my kid's super smart, put him in this super smart class. Or we say, hey, all of our classes are fully inclusive, and that includes the ability of students. So we don't do ability grouping, meaning that like you're going to have students with disabilities, students who are gifted and talented, students who are typically developing, all in classrooms together based on their born-on date, based on their age, because we believe, as a full inclusion school, that students belong with their peers, their grade level peers, their age appropriate peers. Now, if a student needs, a student has a moderate to severe disability and they need extra support, they don't need to be in a special class to get extra support. In our organization, we bring the support into the classroom. So you're going to walk into our organization and see far more adults in our classrooms than in a typical classroom, and that's just our model of learning. But like, if you apply for our school because everybody else is applying for our school, and again, we're a public school, not a private school. The only reason there's an application process is because there's more people that want to get into the school than we have seats for. And it's a good district. I mean, there's lots of good options here. It ain't like everybody's like, oh, we got to go to that one good school. There's lots of good schools. But before you apply for this school, you got to know what you're like. Hey, cool, you believe in full inclusion. Great, you came and saw it. You walk into this classroom and there's a student with Down syndrome. You walk into that classroom, there's an amazing child who's somewhere on the autism spectrum, and you're like, yeah, of course that kid belongs in that classroom because that kid's 11 years old and they're a fifth grader, and that's where fifth graders belong, in fifth grade classrooms with other fifth grade kids. So they all go to fifth grade birthday parties on the weekend, and that's what full inclusion looks like to us. It's interesting though. You spend your time doing prospective parent tours, putting together literature, really being clear about your mission and your vision and what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and you bring people through. And inevitably though, 3 years from now, somebody who's on a tour today is going to take issue with one of our practices. 3 years from now, they're going to be in second grade. 3 years from now, and they're going to go, you guys, I think, are doing my child a disservice because of X. And we're gonna be like, hey, we believe in X. We believe that X is actually good for your child. It's good for the children around your child. And then we've been doing X for years, and we do X very intentionally, and we do it very well, and it produces the outcomes that we desire, and our board desires, and our community desires. And when you signed up to come to this school, we were pretty clear X was part of the program, and so as I drive in today, I love showing off this place because it shows so well. We got really the best. And look, the most important thing we do in education is recruit and retain the highest quality educators. I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. I walk people on tours because we got the best educators in the business, man. Our teachers are the best. So it's such a fun day for me to go show this off. And I rant a little bit about, oh my God, 3 years from now somebody's gonna say something about X. Whatever. It's fine. It's all part of the business. But what I love is this day to walk around and tour people around a place that I take a lot of pride in. All right, my name is John Eick. You can find me on the Twitters at John_Eick. Clearly I'll just keep talking. That's what I do. I'm going to school right now. I can see people in the parking lot. I see kids walking in. It's going to be a beautiful day. It looks like it might rain. I don't know, maybe rain will break. All right, hope you have a wonderful Thursday. We'll catch you next time.